Mm. 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 Yeah, more citronelle that didn't work. It smells good. So, so I just came back from going to the park with the little one. We wanted to go to Smoothie King, so we went to Smoothie King. Why not? Just follow sun time. Play outside, look at the ducks. So I had an opportunity while I was sitting and watching them frolic to finish watching the first half of that video, which that video, if you can tell by the title, is the Cross the Line video. You know, the one with G-Man and the Black Hebrew Israelites? It's not a good look, G-Man, not a good look. The second half is, this is not going to be a long video, by the way. This is just a preview, pretty much a prelude to what's coming tomorrow. Not a good look. Not a good look, G-Man. I am severely disappointed in you. Incredibly. There was a low point that I think that most people reach, but then G-Man finds a way to burrow underground underneath that low point and sit there and fester like a cyst. It's almost like he has no values. It's almost like anything that he claims that he stands for, he really doesn't. And it makes you really question, and this is probably one of the main things, one of the reasons why I question his allegiance to a supposed religion, is that he showed none of the boldness. I'm going to use that term a lot tomorrow. He shows none of that boldness, because I was told by one of his Christian brothers that that's something that they admire. They stick by him because he has the boldness to profess the word. I said, you can be bold all day long and be fucking wrong. Being bold is, I mean, I guess if you are courage the cowardly dog, then boldness seems like something that's admirable. Okay, cool. Anybody can be bold. A fool can be bold. But love smoothies. I have mixed family members. As you can kind of tell, my family don't necessarily keep it in the tribe. If I were to talk to some of my cousins, the ones specifically who are mixed, white mothers, that I spend all my time ranting and raving against, what's a good organization? The new Black Panther Party. Not the Black Panther Party for self-defense. They're two different organizations, two different goals. One's an extremist group and the other is for the edification of colored people. Okay? Let's make that separation right now. If I spend my time telling people that Malik Shabazz, one of the leaders of the new Black Panther Party, is a charlatan, he's deceiving people, and he's professing hate, what would you expect me to do? If I were to ever speak to this person, especially publicly, would you expect me to go, hey, I just had a falling out with my family, fuck them Negroes? Would you expect me to say something like that? Would you expect me, or just even, casually display my dirty laundry? Would you expect that to somebody who genuinely doesn't agree with that type of ideology? Would you expect that? Would you expect me to sit down and break bread? And I'm using that phrase for a reason. Would you expect me to break bread with those people if I truly dislike them? And when asked by those people, will you attend one of our events where we're glorifying people getting rank in said organization, that you would contact me, I would contact them privately upon them asking me. If I truly despise them and I disagree with the things that they profess and the things that they represent. Is that something that you would expect from somebody who truly despises such an organization? Hypothetically speaking. It's funny how often G-Man sacrifices his integrity. It's almost shocking that he can call himself a man and still look in the mirror. I am genuinely appalled at what I just listened to. G-Man does not hate those people. G-Man does not in no way, shape, or form despise the things that they believe or profess. I've been around many people who think like them, and I keep them at arm's length for a fucking reason. Because I don't want to be associated with them. If Malik Shabazz were sitting right here in front of me, I treat him like I treat everyone else, but any offers to come break bread are going to be denied openly and overtly. I don't play that. I don't play this fucking pansy shit that G-Man does, where he pretends to have integrity and he pretends to be bold, but when it comes down to it, he's a petty fucking petulant child. If you don't like anti-Semitism, if you don't like people who are professing quite openly that they despise white people, you might not want to watch tomorrow, because you're going to hear a lot of it. What you will hear is some protest from G-Man. He doesn't just roll over and agree with everything. Make no mistake, he doesn't do that. He just picks his gripes, and he ignores their blatant racism. He's prejudiced. He ignores it. It rolls right off his back. For someone who's so bold, you have to really ask him, what was the purpose of going on that radio show? Because he knows what they're about. Hell, they even acknowledge that he's been after them for 2 years. So what was the purpose, G-Man? And feel free to respond to this as needed. Take all the fucking time you need. What was the purpose of going on that radio show? Because all I heard was you besmirching other Christians. That's it. And as they profess some very abhorrent views, racist, very, very prejudicial views, you barely said a fucking word. And when they offered to invite you, G-Man, to come to one of their, I guess, coronations, it was their Passover, where they would be promoting people to captains and generals and all these fucking made-up ranks that they have. Oh, I'll contact you privately. For what? What the fuck couldn't you say live that you had to tell him in public, G-Man? Because again, I heard that the other day from a Christian brother of yours, and you can go ask around which one told me that they admire your boldness. That doesn't sound like boldness to me. That sounds like bitch made. So, I reject wholeheartedly that G-Man is bold. He is a fool. He is an ignorant, untrained, uneducated private that you send with a 240 to charge the hill. Cannon fodder. A warm body to absorb bullets. That's it. Nothing more. He does more detriment to Christianity than anything else. Even so much as offering his personal testimony of strife within Christian ranks. And offered it up to some of his supposed sworn enemies. I'm gonna wait with bated breath for G-Man to explain after I make this video tomorrow why he felt the need to go on that radio show. What was his excuse for doing that? I'm not even a Christian and I'm appalled by it. There was no other purpose to what G-Man did other than spite and personal vindictiveness. There was nothing Christian about that at all. They quite openly disrespect Christians, his former Christian brothers. So I am glad that G-Man did that because he truly showed his colors. I played a clip today in my hangout where he's comparing himself to LeBron James right after he made the video that people shouldn't be comparing themselves to LeBron James. So his hypocrisy knows no heights. But Christians who defend him, you really need to go watch that video. You really need to ask yourself, what master does G-Man serve exactly? Ask yourself that question after you watch that video. If you think that he's worth saving, by all means. But ask him to give an account for why he did that. I don't care about anything he's done to me. He can't hurt me. G-Man knows that. I've done the same thing that I've been doing for the past 3 weeks, and G-Man has altered his channel dramatically. In fact, he's now altering 3 channels, and I've stayed the course. So, we know in this do-si-do, in this relationship, who pulls the strings and who dances. But what I don't know is G-Man's true motivation for going on that show. Because what I'm going to do is, and G-Man, you can prepare for this one. I'm going to show maybe 5 to 10 minutes, maybe 5 to 10 minutes of his previous appearance on that show. Because I was told that it's dramatically different. In fact, the hosts of the show, Brother Braids Too Tight and Brother Light Skin, excuse me, Skin Too Light. That's my new, I'm not going to call him Talcum X anymore. I'm going to call him Brother Skin Too Light. I came up with that on the car on the way back. Even they acknowledged it. They said, G-Man, you lost your fire. That's what happens when you serve a slave master. You sound like one of those beaten dogs on those SPCA videos. That's what they compared him to. That's literally what they compared him to, a beaten dog. And then played the soundboard with the whips. So, we're going to see the real G-Man. We're going to see the real G-Man tomorrow. So I encourage people to get some popcorn. Maybe doing it around 8 a.m. Central. Have my coffee ready. Take the trash out, put the little one on the bus, kiss the wife goodbye, and then I'm fucking G-Man for about the next 2 hours. So before noon Central, y'all gonna see the real G-Man. Y'all are going to see the real G-Man. Oh, by the way, G-Man, do you happen to remember what you did to some of your Christian brothers around that period of time? Think long and hard about something that you did. And I mentioned this in the last hangout. G-Man, do you know who may or may not have screenshots about that? It'd be a shame if someone showed those screenshots. I think your fellow Christians, the ones who defend you, might be appalled by that. You know exactly what I'm talking about, G-Man. You know exactly what I'm talking about. I guess since you have nothing to lose, you figure, why not attack that which is most precious to others? Isn't that right? So don't ask me why I'm going in on G-Man, if you haven't figured it out yet. He deserves no mercy. No quarter. Doesn't matter that the people he's attacking are Christian or not, they're still people. People that I've actually grown quite attached to and quite fond of. People who are personally impacted by some of the things of these Black Hebrew Israelite camps, these one Westers as they're called. They have a personal investment in why they're doing what they're doing. G-Man doesn't hate them like he claims. G-Man is the antithesis of bold. So I want it to be known by noon Central tomorrow that that label for G-Man will no longer apply. I will break it. I will strip that from him, piece by piece. But G-Man was under the assumption that he could just act with impunity. That the unstoppable force G-Man would never ever meet the immovable object Dragnet. You'll learn today. Well, I should say tomorrow. Oh, I implore his Christian brothers and sisters too to rise up and defend him. That includes you, Tommy. Good old Tommy Hall. I've not sat down and actually watched that stupid fucking video you made. I'm probably not going to because, let's face it, you're upset because I still mention your habits. But if you're still a little sore from the last ass kicking I gave you, let me know, Tommy, and we can have another hangout. No problem. I enjoy teaching good old boys like you a lesson. Trust me, there's a particular smile on my face that I get every time. Every single time. And Tommy, you and I know why. I'm pretty sure half the people watching know why too. You can call it Dragnot's reparations. But, nevertheless, all good things must come to an end. Eventually we must move on because I'm afraid, ladies and gentlemen, based on yesterday's display, I'm afraid I've broken him. I am afraid. You know that when y'all like donate to me, y'all know that y'all are feeding my Smoothie King habit, right? I'm just letting y'all know that right now. Y'all are feeding this addiction. Well, my monthly massages and Smoothie King. You're enabling me. But yeah. I think he's broke. Have you noticed that last video of his? Last video of his attempted to talk about a topic. I'm going to be honest, I think I listened to maybe 2 minutes of it, and then I got caught up on my weekly anime. If I want to talk about Catholicism, I'll ring the bell of 3 or 4 or 5 Catholics that I know. I'm pretty sure that they're more than capable of talking about the topic without me having to like formulate their positions for them. Like, here are your positions, start defending. But that'll come later. That will come later. Once G-Man is broken and battered and he figures out that he can't attack people with impunity, guess I'll stop. And then we'll continue with some actual content. Get the science bitches back up and running. Have hangouts where people who have different doctrines can come and duke it out. Throw in a few atheists to discuss the issues as they see them, because it's good. It is good if you want to be someone who's a non-believer. You need to actually understand the Christian position. You can't criticize what you don't know. And so, learning from some of these hangouts is integral. Because people make the mistake in thinking that because some of the theists on here are fucking idiots, that you can just go in and talk to them Tony Vicinio learned that that's not the case. Even though G-Man's an idiot, he still knows some tricks of the trade. So, sorry, Tony, I had to use you as an example. Don't think that you can just hop into any conversation and then just say anything, because some of us have integrity. You will be called out. Gently, don't worry. But it's good to understand what the positions actually are. You want to actually understand about the Euthyphro dilemma and not impale yourself on both horns like a certain somebody did the other night. So, it's going to be interesting. Feel free to let folks know. Tomorrow, G-Man's going to get it. He's going to get it. He's going to feel this one hard because there's no way he can defend this. There's no apologetic he can find. There's no Bible verse that he can try and corrupt or perverse, because you really see his true colors, or hear it, I should say, and it's a shame. I can only imagine. Actually, you know, I might go back inside and look at how many times that video has been shared. Now it's immortalized on the internet as a piece of propaganda for future Black Hebrew Israelite camps to use as an example. This is what happens when you join in Christian organizations and you have white folks. G-Man is an example of that. Don't do this. The reason you are in this spot is because you follow G-Man's path. Good job, G-Man. You've helped create more Black Hebrew Israelites. Congratulations, because, and I'll explain this a little bit more tomorrow, their message is a sinister one. I see the attraction. Would I fall for it? If I was destitute, if I wasn't raised in the best situations, I could see the appeal of it. Even me. Believe it or not. Their message relies on taking advantage of beleaguered communities. And it gives them something to hope for. That is why it's sinister. And so they have a particular way. They need an antagonist, the white devils, at the helm of all that is wrong. So what did G-Man do? He went on their show as a Christian, as someone who's fought against them for years, and gave them just that. Because if you're a Christian, you go, this is not happening. No, there's no white slave masters causing strife and you know, what does G-Man like to say? You know, doing this whole divide and conquer thing. Guess what G-Man gave them? Guess what they brought up? You guessed it. You guessed it. That's how I made the connection. They are the ones who brought it up, not G-Man. I think G-Man realized it. Probably why he was so silent. Because he realized he just gave them that whole divide and conquer thing. And oopsie. Yes, G-Man. You were the one who felt the need to air dirty laundry that honestly not even atheists should have heard about. No one. I wouldn't have known that SOG split from Shield Squad if G-Man hadn't made such a ruckus about it. Would have not known at all. But it was his mouth. Because he felt that he was the best of the best of the best. And he was being shafted. So he had to come to his own channel and cry about it. Knowing that there are organizations out there that want to capitalize on that. But that will require G-Man to actually think about things before he does them. And you know he's not going to do that. So, I applaud you, G-Man, for helping to create more Black Hebrew Israelites. In fact, you know what I want to do? I want to find. You know what? Who was it? Kifa Kimfa, Shamian. Who else in the chat is who's really familiar with those camps? Find me somebody who has seen that. Somebody who has seen this whole G-Man saga, and somebody who is influenced by the propaganda that they put out. That would show that G-Man's lack of self-control, his vindictiveness, and his childishness actually contributed to them coming to that Black Hebrew Israelite camp. Because I guarantee you, for every person G-Man can fabricate that he is converted to Christianity, I want to say there's probably 5 Black Hebrew Israelites he's helped influence to create Black Hebrew Israelites. I'd be willing to take that bet. His negligence will be felt. But he is too prideful to ever see that. He will never believe it. Just like he will never. Oh, he did. He did. Okay, cool. Shamian, can you find me those folks? I want to talk to them. I want to parade G-Man's failure in public. He needs to see it, whether he believes it or not. G-Man needs to see his failure. His friends and his support needs to see his failure. People like G-Man made you. Oh, Shamian, would you like to come on and talk, Shamian? I would love to. I would love to praise G-Man's failure. It just proves my point. Take your time in considering it. I got time. Take your time. Or if you can just find any propaganda that people have made from G-Man's failure. Propaganda is enough. Damn. I'll be pissing for the next hour. So, anyway, there you have it, folks. Shit's gonna get real. I'm going to send a message out to some of the folks who are helping to educate me on this. And once I get the timestamps, some screenshots, some information, there's another hangout that I'm looking for too. It's a hangout where G-Man appeared on their radio show. He was combative. He was really combative. They actually reference it in the one that I just watched too, but I have to find that. And I'll just use that for comparison. But I'll go ahead and turn this off because I have a date with calculus. So, long story short, if you missed out, tomorrow morning, I will be doing a review of the Walk the Line, or excuse me, not Walk the Line, that's the movie, Cross the Line, on the Sakari, ISUPK, ISUPK with Captain Cesario, aka Brother Braids Too Tight, and his partner, Brother Skin Too Light, and their interview with G-Man, where he went and felt the need to air the dirty laundry of his fellow Christians. And you're going to hear some stuff from G-Man. His silence is deafening. He is definitely not against those organizations as much as he claims. He's definitely not. And I'm going to show that tomorrow. I'm going to show folks that G-Man is not the person he claims to be. I think we understand that he is pretty much a bitch, but I'm going to show you. And then when we get towards the end, because it's only an hour, it's only that first hour, but when we get towards the end and they invite G-Man to come break bread with them, he doesn't take that opportunity to go, you know what? I'm not going to do that. I don't believe in y'all's doctrines. I don't believe in y'all's messages. I appreciate the offer, but I'm not going to do it. He doesn't take the opportunity to outright say no and stand his ground. He's, oh no, I'll contact you later, but I'll talk to you privately about that. That don't sound like boldness to me. That sounds like bitch made. If you are actually against folks, if you are actually against hate, you should be bold and be able to say it in the public square. That's the whole reason I know the difference between the Black Panther Party, self-defense, and the new Black Panther Party. That's the reason I know the one that Huey P. Newton started versus the one that Malik Shabazz started. And that's why I am vehemently against the one that's ran by Malik Shabazz. I don't have a problem saying that. Do I know people who support? Yes, I do. Do I talk to them? Casually, but we don't agree. I'm not going to go to a rally where they're promoting folks. I'm not going to go break bread with them. I'm not going to go and try and build with them. I will treat them the same as I treat anyone else who treats me with respect, but there's a line in the sand that I draw because I don't want to be associated with that. Point blank, period. But there's a difference between actually being a man and actually holding values and having integrity and G-Man, who will change his values based on the need in the moment. There's something to say about fickle people like that. You can't trust them. And G-Man's not to be trusted, Christians. But you'll see. You'll learn. You'll learn. Because mind you, G-Man went on that show with the intention on besmirching and denigrating fellow Christians. And that's what you're going to hear. You're going to hear some stuff. You're definitely going to hear some stuff. You have to wonder, you have to ask yourself why he did that. Ask yourself why he felt the need to go on a show that openly degrades his fellow man of different races. But why did he do it? Not to combat them, because mind you, some people go on there to combat them on their turf, which is fine. Go to the monster's lair and fight the monster. You don't go to the monster's lair and rub his tummy and feed him. So, on that note, folks, hold on to your butts. It's going to be a fun ride tomorrow. G-Man, I suggest you go buy some lube. I'm going in dry. I don't have a cute wrestling quote or anything, so it's gonna go down. That's all I got to say. So, as always, folks, don't be like G-Man. Be better.